A potential massive Bitcoin catalyst is on the way as rumors are circulating that a big announcement at Bitcoin Nashville next week could potentially see the United States government start to buy and hold Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. What will that mean for the price of BTC? What would that mean for adoption? And what would that mean for your portfolio? We're going to have that discussion. We're going to take a look at the ETF flows. We also have some altcoin news. We got some Dogecoin news, Ripple news, Polygon news. They've officially given a date on their token merger or their token swap. We're going to go over that. We'll take a look at the markets. What are some altcoins to keep your eye on as the markets have seemed to turn a corner? And what pattern is Bitcoin printing on the chart that could be a very potential bullish pattern to take us to new all-time highs? We got that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, and, well, stale information and repackage that whole thing up in a fun and sexy way. You miss me?
Yeah, so much, man. It was crazy. Yeah, I cried tears. That's why I got tissues over here. Yeah. You can ask Ashley. Ashley, wasn't I crying vehemently and violently yesterday?
Yeah, you were crying. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
You know what else is back? You know, as soon as you left, we rallied. Yeah, so you weren't here Thursday, Friday last week, and well, guess what? Sunday, we started rallying. We rallied Monday, Tuesday, and then you're back today, and well, guess what? We're done.
David's all like, you always take off when there's giant news. I'm like, what happened? He's like, Trump. He got... I'm like, okay, somebody pierced Trump's ear, and then it's the same spot it was like 3 weeks ago.
It was down to 50.
Hey, look at this. Wow. Holy smokes. The Bitcoin has went absolutely parabolic. 3 weeks ago, we were 64,000, and we touched 64,000.
How about you go to the 7-day, you stoop?
Yeah.
Yeah, almost $10,000 up in 7 days. Yeah, that's big.
Why don't we look at the 1 year? Wow.
Oh my God. Why don't you look at the all-time chart? Wow. Anyways, wow for BlackRock as we see another big day of inflows for BlackRock's ETF, $110 million yesterday. Fidelity, pretty minuscule, 2.8 million. Everything else is a goose egg. But we saw 54 million of outflows from Grayscale, bringing our net total to $53.3 million, breaking a 3-day consecutive streak, 3 trading day consecutive streak of over $300 million of inflows.
What is that?
What's up?
Which one?
I'm saying we had 3 consecutive trading days of 300 million plus inflows. Yesterday was the first day we broke it. So that's called breaking the trend, my friend. And, I asked Forrest this question yesterday. Obviously, you weren't here, so I'll ask you today. But we're all wondering, right? We're all curious, hey, is TradFi going to buy the dip? The answer is yes. Last week, every single day, inflows, majority of the days, over 100 million. Then we're like, okay, now prices stabilize. We're at 64, 65K. Are they going to continue to buy? And that answer was also yes. So you can see here, starting Monday on the 15th, 300 million, and then 2 days ago, $422 million. Yesterday, 53 million. What does this tell you about their appetite for crypto or for Bitcoin more specifically? And what can we expect moving forward, maybe, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 5 years from now?
I still don't put anything on these inflows and outflows. Really don't.
You don't put anything on the inflows?
No, it's just a measure. It's a 24-hour delayed purchase of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes, like we go through this every time. If Bitcoin moves to $72,000 tonight, then 48 hours from now, inflows will be 300 billion. It's just a measure of the market. That's all it is. It doesn't. The ETFs, they purchase what the clients demand. Now, if this was a chart on what is BlackRock purchasing for their own portfolio for a company's position, but this is just what is the market buying and selling. And so if the market goes up, inflows go up. If the market goes down, inflows go down.
Yeah, but it's not about the flows. It's about what the flows mean. which is that people are buying.
Yeah, it's the same
That
as
was my
looking.
question.
But the thing is that like if you look at CoinMarketCap,
Let's see how you're going to flip this. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. You look at like for me, I want to look at what is the exchanges doing because that's where the price is realistically set. That's where the real volume is. Not saying that there isn't volume on Wall Street, but realistically, we get the price of Bitcoin from the exchanges.
The spot markets move the price.
Yeah, the spot markets move the price. And then the ETFs in turn copy the price, and then the people buy and sell on that price. And so if the price of Bitcoin goes up on the spot markets, then the ETF markets go up. If they sell, the flows go out.
Yeah, I know that. The question was not whether ETF flows are important. The question was what you're seeing from the ETF flows. Obviously, people are buying.
But that's what I'm saying is that the ETF flows, all it is a measure of the price. So if the price dramatically moves with high volume, then you get big flows. Right?
Okay, so let me dispel your theory here. So I'll just go to Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin do they buy? 43 Bitcoin from Fidelity, 1,700 Bitcoin from BlackRock, and 820 million or 820 Bitcoin was sold from Grayscale. So these are the amount of Bitcoin they bought, not dollar value. So now what do you guys say?
Yeah. It's just a measure of the market. So there is institutions that are purchasing, and then there's retail that is selling and buying into. So I mean, you can say, hey, the market is moving from the spot market to Wall Street, but that's in a small percentage, right? The flows are basically a measure of, hey, where is the price of Bitcoin? If price of Bitcoin shoots up to 80,000, the flows are going to be absolutely crazy on the ETFs. I don't know, my man. I don't know, dude. I don't put anything. It was nice when it first started because we could really see how much money is pouring in to the ETFs. How big is this market going to be? What is the percentage of the traders that are going to be trading on the exchanges? Or how much of the Bitcoin market, or what percentage is going to be traded on the spot market versus the traditional markets? By the end of the day, man, I'm telling you, the ETF thing, it's way overblown as far as the numbers. It's just another exchange. It's just now it's arguably the largest exchange, right? If you were to compare Binance to the ETFs, now the ETFs are larger than Binance. So essentially, it's just a big ass exchange. So, you know, if for me, we can sit here and look at, if we looked every day, we're like, well, how much Bitcoin got traded on Binance? Like it really, that wouldn't be a interesting analytic for me, at least, right? How much money is traded. All I'm saying is that I think that we've put the ETF on a pedestal, right? And that looking at the numbers, the flows, those aren't new flows, right? Those are just, now they're just, instead of being traded on traditional exchanges, now they're traded on Wall Street. If the price goes up on Bitcoin, the flows are going to go up on Wall Street. They sell Bitcoin, the flows are going to go out. I don't put much to it.
Do I want to start an argument here? That's the question that's in my head right now. And I think not. I disagree with what you're saying, but yeah, it is what it is.
So
I agree that it's a lagging indicator. But I also think it's important to see that if we take a look at when did Bitcoin's price dump, right? July 4th, it went down to $55,000, right? And then we started seeing inflows and the price reacted and price rebounded. All I'm saying is I'm not saying we're putting the ETF flows on this. Oh my God, it's telling us everything that the market's going to do. I just think it's important to see what is Wall Street doing? Are they buying the dips? Are they selling the moves up? I think it's important to see those things. And you take a look at, again, 400 million, 300 million, 300 million, 80, 150, 200, 300, 140. That's just since July 5th when Bitcoin's price went down to 55K. And so we saw massive inflows, which if I were to, you know, kind of measure that, hey, what does that mean? Like probably like just a regular thinking, you don't even have to be in the space. Price is down. We all of a sudden see inflow spike. What does that tell you? That means Wall Street's appetite for cheap Bitcoin is very high. I think that's important to look at. But we do have some. This could be pretty big here. So there are rumors, and they're getting people like Simon Dixon are getting more and more confirmations that these rumors may be true, that Donald Trump will announce a USA Bitcoin strategic reserve in Nashville next week.
I think it's possible. But here's the thing. He's not going to have it. It's not going to go into effect unless he were to get elected and then
Correct.
And then put that into effect, right?
Correct.
And I would imagine that's not something you could do with an executive order. So you'd have to get Congress to pass it. And I'm just curious. So if he were to get elected, you know, what is, I think with this election coming up, the bigger question here is, I think that the media and a lot of the sentiment is that Trump is going to win, or at least he's leading in a lot of the polls. And, with the assassination attempt, I think it really inspired a lot of people, the way that he reacted to it, kind of got up, pumped his fist. And I heard a lot of people like all of a sudden out of nowhere, like, oh my God, Trump's my man, And so has the sentiment changed? Is he going to get elected? It seems so. But I think the bigger question here is what's going to happen to the congressional seats? What's going to happen with the House and the Senate? Are they going to be predominantly Republican? Because if they are, then at that point, the president can kind of pass whatever agendas he have. And very rarely do you get an executive office from one party. Also, the House and Senate. Now, it's happened before, but it was a lot. I think that was when Obama was in office, was the last time it happened. And ever since then, you always have a division where you have a split where, hey, you might have the House and the executive office, but you don't have the Senate, or, vice versa. And so, if it's something that he wants to pass as a law, he still might have difficulties if it's.
But at the very least, if this is true, that 200,000 Bitcoin they have, they're probably not going to sell. They'll direct whoever's holding that, saying, "Hey, look, I'm about to put in whatever executive order." And
but does it fall on? Is it a responsibility of the executive office, or is it within their reach to say, "Hey, you're not allowed to sell"? I think that there is division in Congress, and so I think it would be,
I'm curious,
probably be the Justice Department.
Who is in charge of the Bitcoin that the U.S.
I think it would be the Justice Department, and also
they're the ones that seize it. But
Homeland Security.
Here's the thing, though: if he gets elected, he's going to put in
marshals.
He's going to put in his own people, right? And so could one of the things be, hey, look, as part of my next term, I'm looking to adopt a national Bitcoin strategy. Let's make sure we hold on to these Bitcoin, gives us a good head start, yada, yada, yada. On top of, I want you to speculate on what do you think would happen? How do you think people would react if this was announced, all the back-end stuff put aside, people are not thinking, well, okay, what is the exact way to do it? Can he do an executive order? Like, we're not political experts here.
I don't know. I think there's like there's probably a million different ways of going about it. I mean, I guess you could simply say, hey, let's liken it to gold. What is the process for a company having a reserve of gold? I know that, you can look at wealth funds. You can look at sovereign wealth funds, for example. If you're not familiar with sovereign wealth funds, it's just a basket of usually commodities and assets that a country holds. And so you could have, holdings, whether it's through the Treasury, through some kind of wealth fund, whether it's perhaps bonds. I'm not exactly sure if there's one particular spot that Bitcoin would fit, and maybe it's a diverse strategy, right? Maybe the Treasury has some exposure, perhaps. There's a bond. There's some tokenized version of Bitcoin being offered through BlackRock, or maybe there's some kind of bonds that are backed by Bitcoin that the United States government would offer. I think that there's so many different ways to integrate Bitcoin that to simply say this is how they're going to do it, I think it's it's we can speculate, but I think that the process is as wide as your imagination, right? How could you integrate Bitcoin? Because think about how many ways is the dollar used in our economy, right? By the government, through the economy, and by the government, and the central bank, and the Federal Reserve, and the Treasury. The dollar is used in many ways. Bonds are used in many ways. Gold is used in many ways. So I'll just be very curious to see if he's going to have a strategic reserve for Bitcoin. What does that look like? I have no idea. But I'll say this, that I would find it very difficult for him to execute if he doesn't have support from Republicans or doesn't have the numbers of Republicans to pass laws in both the House and the Senate, or at least control one or the other. I think that likely they'll control the Senate, also the executive branch. And then when it comes to the House, if it's like close where it's only a few seats, perhaps you can get some Democrats that are pro crypto, because we know there are. Yeah, we talk about Democrats being pro crypto, and maybe not in its entirety, but we saw with the SOB 121 bill that the Democrats pulled up, and a lot of them voted. It was like a 30% of the Democrats had voted in favor of the repeal of SOB 121. And so, I would be very curious. I think a law is due for something of that nature, and I think that it's coming, man.
You said you're curious. Would you be curious to see what a picture of Donald Trump and Joe Biden in their tighty whities would look like, standing next to each other? Well, your wish is my command. This is on the cover of the New York Health Issue magazine. Yeah. And then, if you're ever, Robin, if you ever become wealthy off of maybe meme coin that was only traded on Uniswap that you bought a lot of and sold too early, if you ever have an extra $45 million, you can also buy a Stegosaurus. Wow. Yeah.
Can we get one for the studio?
Yeah. We're doing a fundraising, guys. Send $45 million to the wallet address that we're going to put in. I'm just kidding. Then we had
a big Velociraptor fan.
Yeah. Ashley, what's your favorite dinosaur besides the Nuggets?
The Nuggets.
No. Nuggets out.
Nuggets.
You look like what's the weird looking one that flies around?
What's the flying one?
You remind me of the one. You remember the one that like throws the little thing out of his face?
That's what I'm talking about.
Spits the venom on you.
Yeah, especially when you throw him out of a chair. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I do. So we had this. Robin, it feels like a lot of people are coming around to Bitcoin. Larry Fink over here on a Bitcoin World Tour. He's pretty much just make him a suit with a Bitcoin logo on it, right? It's a little mascot. Apparently, Jamie Dimon, he has changed his tune on Bitcoin. And so Trump reveals JP Morgan CEO sudden Bitcoin and crypto flip amid a huge price surge, even going as far as saying that he could potentially make him the next Treasury Secretary if he becomes president. And he said, quote, Jamie Dimon was, very negative, and now all of a sudden he's changed his tune a little bit.
He's looking at the competitor. He's looking at his rival, his long-term friend, foe, enemy.
Which is who? PayPal?
No, BlackRock.
Larry
Fink. And so Larry Fink obviously has came out and spoken highly of Bitcoin. And then you got Jamie Dimon sitting here like, man, they're making a lot of money with that thing. Like, how much money has their ETF made, right? I mean, we can look at the flows and we can identify. So Jamie Dimon has got to realize that whether or not you believe in the market is there, right? You can sit here and say, hey, you know what? I don't want no part of AI. It's stupid. And then you still realize that, like, okay, there's a lot of money to be made there. And so whether or not he believes in Bitcoin being solid technology,
that's how much money BlackRock has made.
Yeah.
On their management fees.
So, they even outside of that, I mean, how many new customers have they gained? Outside of just their management fees, How many people have opened up an account with BlackRock because, well, hey, this is probably the greatest piece of advertising ever, right? How many people have uttered the word BlackRock lately that are in the crypto circles, right? And so everyone now stands at attention. Like, I knew what BlackRock was, but now at this point, I'm freaking sick of hearing about them, right? And so,
Already?
yeah. And so at the end of the day, one, probably the greatest piece of marketing in the history of that company. Two, made a crap ton of money. They are literally offering new products or launching new products that have never been offered before with tokenized real world assets. They're talking about launching a competitor to the stock exchange in Texas via tokenized assets or shares of companies, right? So basically, they're offering a digital version that trades on a blockchain of Wall Street.
And it'll be open 24/7.
It'll be open 24/7. So competitors have to be looking over there like, it's not going to.
I don't think just competitors, Robin. I think shareholders too.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that Jamie Dimon's got to be like, all right, man. Even if you think Bitcoin is utter trash, you got to be like sitting here looking at this whole scenario and be like, man, they're making a lot of money over there, man. And so if we are a YouTube channel, which we are, newsflash, and the next YouTube channel, maybe one about our size, if they were to grow by a factor of 100x because they started doing videos on X, Y, and Z,
We would blame him for buying bots.
we probably would, yeah.
No, we would.
Or no, they would.
It's a
that to
joke.
us.
It's a
But
joke.
anyway, but the thing is that we would look at them and be like, hey, what are they doing different? Like, what is their product, right? What are they having success with? And we're going to at least respect it, right? Because if you're all of a sudden grow by a factor of 100 or grow by a factor of 10, competitors are gonna be like, hey, what are y'all doing over there? Is it working? Seems like it's working.
Universal language, my friend, is cash money, right?
Success, man.
Green.
Success.
Green is everyone's favorite color.
No, success is it, man. Success is it. And usually success is measured in dollars as well. But also, like, if you look at somebody, you gotta, just imagine you got two twin brothers, right? And all of a sudden one of them just gets swole, right? He just got big, he's like
Guns.
looking like guns, like super in shape, got an 8-pack. Twin brother looking over at him like, success, right? He's having success with his body, and you know what he did. And so if a company or a person or a personality or people get jealous, man. And Jamie Dimon is jealous, bro. That's what I'm telling you. He's looking at Larry Fink. He's over here on CNBC. He's probably ain't even getting that many phone calls. How many phone calls do you think Larry Fink is answering on
A lot.
Fox and NBC to go talk Bitcoin?
What if Larry Fink?
And I'm telling you, Jamie Dimon's all like, where am I?
You hear Larry Fink is going to
Who's calling me about this? What's up?
Larry Fink might speak at the conference.
I heard the rumors. Actually,
I just made it up.
okay, I was about to say.
But would it be surprising?
I was just
What
like, I heard the rumors, and I was like, wait a second, no, I haven't. I was like, I haven't heard the rumors. So,
I love it.
but then again, there's been a lot of.
But would it surprise you?
Yes, actually,
Really?
actually would, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. The guy's literally on a world tour, a marketing tour. You think he's going to go to the largest Bitcoin conference in the world and maybe give a 5-minute
He can't
keynote?
just show up to conferences. What are we? Less than a week out? A week out? He can't.
It's
just
Larry
show up.
Fink. If they call him or his assistant's like, yeah, we got an email like 2 months ago about you going to a Bitcoin conference. He's like, you know what? Yeah, give him a call. I'll be there. Easy. You're Larry Fink. You get what you want, right? Just ask Gary Gensler. Robin, let's take a look at the markets. Are they hot? Are they cold? Are they up? Are they down? What are we buying?
You
Okay.
doing great.
Nice to have you back, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
So we had a sell-off here. Apparently, I should go. I should leave again, right? The price of rally. That's your thesis.
So let's try it out, man. You want to try it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out of
bye.
here. Bye. Ashley, you want this chair? No.
No, she did. Remember? Earlier?
So $64,000 Bitcoin early this morning. We're at 63.5. But as we took a look at this earlier, on the 1 week
It's a beautiful.
and up and to the right. But I mean, you kind of see like when we zoom out a little bit, this is still kind of the same range we were at about a month ago. But taking a look at the 1 year, zoom out a little bit more. This has been a massive channel of consolidation here between that 70 and 60K mark. I know we dipped underneath 60K, but it was short lived, right? If you look at the 1 month, I mean, it was under 60K was from the 3rd to the 4th. So 11 days, right? So if you look here, we traded above 60K from March till now with only 11 days under 60K. So, this is just a very long consolidation here at this range. I'm expecting a breakout soon. And if Donald Trump does come out and says that the U.S. is going to have a strategic reserve for Bitcoin and announces it in Nashville, that might just be the catalyst, bro.
That was what I was trying to ask you earlier.
Yeah, but I'm hard-headed, bro. so
Fair. Okay.
yeah, that's what I do, man. I got to take simple questions and overcomplicate it.
So then let me ask you this question, okay?
Yeah.
Just and this might not be the best question, but hey, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking it, right? If there's rumors and it's true, and Bitcoin is down, what is it down, Robin? 1.3%. And he does announce it, would it potentially be a good idea, although a little risky, to maybe get into a long position prior to that announcement if you believe that the price is going to react the way you said it is?
But here's the thing. I think it'll be short. It'll be a news event, right? Buy the news.
Buy the rumor, sell the news?
Yeah, but
the rumor's kind of already out there. You just you
that's
think the
what I'm
market just haven't reacted?
that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a buy the news versus a buy the
So
buy
to
the rumor.
the inverse.
Yeah. And
Sell
so
the rumor, buy the news.
I wouldn't sell the rumor. I would not sell Bitcoin.
People are selling the rumor.
I would not. I'm not saying that people aren't. I'm just saying that me personally. You said, so what you're saying is that people should put it on. I'm
No,
telling
that's
you
not what I'm saying.
that there's one ideology, right? When you're in a bull market, you do not short. Now, you can. There is money to be made. There are always pullbacks. But realistically, Bitcoin's going to go up and to the right. And when it does move, it moves violently. And so if you start putting in short positions and Bitcoin goes from 20 to 40K like we did before, everything's liquidated, right? You're not gonna survive a short if Bitcoin moves
The opposite
from
is
20
true
to
as
40.
well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In a bear market, then sure, hammer away, bro. Like if we hit 150K and we're on the back end of 2025 and it's $150,000 Bitcoin, we double topped, I would be like, I don't think going long is a good idea. Like at this point, you know what? Look at the history of the cycles. If you're going to put in a position on a macro sense, maybe it's time to put in a short, right? And so just don't buck the trend, bro. Don't buck the trend, man.
They say don't fight the Fed, don't buck the trend.
Don't buck the trend, bro. Don't be shorting.
Don't buck it up, man.
Don't short in a bull market. It's not a good idea. And don't long in a bear market. Right? If when it was 2022, and we're sitting here like, all right, man, I'm gonna put this epic ass long in, and be like, stop it. like, stop. Like, say, FTX just blew up 6 months ago.
Terra
Like, calm down.
Luna stablecoin just crashed. It's down from 100
And so-
$10. Let's DCA.
Don't buck the trend. Okay, so anyways, where I was getting back at is that if you want to put in a long position, sure, don't put in no damn short, first of all. And you know what? I would still think that it's going to be a news event because he can announce it, and then 2 months from now, and it kind of fades, right? He can't implement it until January, right? January, I think. When does the new
President January 20th.
January? Okay, so almost February. And so if he says it now, he gets in office in February. When does this thing actually happen, right? He's going to have to, maybe it happens through executive order, but as I mentioned, I would speculate that if you were to do a strategic reserve, it would have to be passed in Congress. We know how long they take to pass bills. It's going to be a while, right?
January 20th.
It's going to be a while. And so,
But the news alone, right? The news alone.
The news alone
People are
the
trying
rally,
to get ahead
yeah.
of the buying. I mean, look what El Salvador has done, right? right? You mentioned bonds backed by Bitcoin. They've done that. You've mentioned giving out loans in Bitcoin. They've done that. Talk about their strategic reserve. They're buying 1 Bitcoin every single day, no matter the price. And they've gone out and bought. They have a damn website where they track all their holdings. And so it's something that another country is already doing. And guess what? Their national currency is also the US dollar. That is their legal tender currency. And so there's multiple ways to do it, but it's just interesting. It's almost surreal to be sitting here after going through 5 years of just pounding and pounding and pounding and listening to people and then them throwing shade. And you kind of question yourself from time to time, like, am I really in the right? Am I in the right place? Am I crazy here? Everyone's telling me I'm crazy. I'm saying Bitcoin is going to get adopted by the masses. It's going to revolutionize finance. And people are looking at you 5 years ago like, maybe you need to take a cold shower. And then enough people say that, you're going to be like,
You can't fight technology. Whether or not you agree with it, whether or not you think your company needs it, whether or not you think that your politician is going to vote for it or embrace it, you can't fight technology. It's simple as that. You know what? If your government is like, you know what, this Air Force thing, these planes, this is you're back in the 60s and the 50s, you're going to war. You need a military, you need technology, you need to be at the forefront, you need to be competitive, right? Otherwise, you're going to fall behind, you're going to get stepped on. Internet comes around, you can sit here and be like, you know what, we're a newspaper company, we don't need internet. People are always going to want the paper at their doorstep. Sure, go ahead, have at it. You can sit here and fight online retail. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And the thing is that technology, whether or not you want to embrace it or not, is going to replace outdated tech. That's it, man. And you know what? What's more outdated than a 2 to 3 business day settlement, international wire transfer, where you got to go to the bank office to fill out paperwork and then give a reason why, and then have the other recipient pay $50 to receive it, and then wait 48 hours for it to clear. And, well, let's text and get information the whole way across. That is outdated technology. And there's new, fresh technology here that does not require processing. You do not need to wait for your server to say, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait 3 days for this process, for this settlement to fall off for you to get your money back because I rang up the wrong card on the wrong table.
It also doesn't need to go through 4 or 5 intermediaries.
Yeah, and so at the end of the day, like, if you don't believe in crypto, then you don't believe in technology. That's it. And so just break out your checkbook, write a check at the grocery store, see if they take those, and then be like, hey, I'm going to open up my my checking account, and I'm going to go buy some bonds and give those to my grandkids, and it's just outdated thinking, right? And so technology's here. Welcome Bitcoin. Welcome crypto.
Welcome ice cream. Rustybot said he's eating ice cream.
Somebody gave me a super chat earlier.
I love ice cream.
Where's my super chat?
What's your favorite ice cream?
Mine? You know,
Like a rainbow sherbet kind of guy.
stop. I swear to God, it's the wrong month for that. Okay, so look, I do like a little bit of crunch. So perhaps something with like a peanut, maybe a pistachio in there. That's crazy. You know, you get like one of those
Pistachio ice cream. Are you a sociopath?
No, man, you go to like one of those like yogurt places, the Froyo, and you know you get the pistachio one, and then you put a little crunch on top. It's absolutely delicious, man. Our producer is looking at us very strange. Hi.
Hi.
What?
What's your favorite ice cream, Ashley?
Where are we going?
We're
Like,
going
Am I
to
going to like
Smith's.
Baskin Robbins? I'm getting cotton candy.
Fun cake?
Cotton candy.
Oh, cotton candy.
Yeah.
Fun cake.
Cotton candy's not a flavor.
David, you didn't say your favorite ice cream.
My favorite ice cream is the Super Fudge Chocolate Brownie with a caramel drizzle.
Super fudge chocolate brownie with caramel.
I said we're going to Smith's.
You make your dentist a lot of money.
I do. That's a fact. I hate you for saying that. Let's take a look at the rest of the markets and we'll get
All right. So, okay, let's take a look at what's up for the day on the 24 hours. Mantle, Dog with Hat, Thorchain, Jupiter, BitGet, Athena. All right, but I want to take a look at the week because there's a lot of big winners coming out of the altcoin market. So, we've beaten this drum to death. We've also beaten Dog with Hat to death as well.
Okay, slow down.
What?
We beaten dogs.
Dog with
Dog
hat.
with hat.
Yeah.
Dog
And
with
so if you watched our channel, you know that when there is big pullbacks in Bitcoin, the altcoins, particularly memes, sell off very heavily. And they always bounce back.
Not all of them, but
Yeah, they bounce. We've pointed
the
this
big
out.
ones. I don't want people to think that.
Yes.
20 million.
The top, and it's been probably the easiest swing trades that we've had, and we've talked about it over and over again. If tomorrow you see Bitcoin drop down to 57,000, right? Let's just say we're at 57,000. Dog with Hat, Pepe, and the other memes, which are
Jib, Doge.
yeah, but particularly Dog with Hat and Pepe and Bonk, those three, they draw down usually 50% every time Bitcoin dumps, and as soon as Bitcoin is back, these outperform everything else. So. And the thing is that we're in a bull market, so you know Bitcoin's not going to just keep selling off down to 30,000, right? I mean, you agree, right? We're not going to see a $30,000 Bitcoin.
No.
We're going to see a $40,000 Bitcoin until the next
Very high 40s, maybe.
Exactly. So during this bull market phase, in this climb up and to the right, where is Bitcoin realistically going to fall to? 50,000, maybe 48 or 49, but you see the big pullbacks. Put a position. Just simple swing trade. Pick up a Dog with Hat or Pepe when it's 50% down, and then just hold it for a week or two at most. Bitcoin rallies, and boom, you're probably gonna get a simple 2x, right? Or at least a 50% gain. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't even been that volatile. We're up 46% on the
But
week.
if you're leverage trading, those gains are amplified, right?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. You don't even. The thing is this is such easy money that you don't even need to leverage trade, bro. You don't even need to. I mean, look at this. Look at this chart. This is on the 1 week, man. You don't even need the leverage. Just 1,000. You can turn 1,000 into 2,000 damn near quickly. I mean, look at these volatile swings, man. From $2 down to $1.50 to $2.30. And then from $2.30 down to $1.50, then up to $2. And then back down.
This is on the 1 month?
Yeah.
So that's
Like
one,
these-
3, 4, 5, 6 trades right
And then if you compare this to Bitcoin, you can see that it's like look at these swings. I mean, you get the sell off here, right? So this is when Bitcoin went from 63 down to 60, right? 63 down to 60. And we see this giant move, right? And then here, Bitcoin was at 62, and then it moved down to 54. And Dog with Hat went from $1.60 to $2. And these aren't even that dramatic of a move, man. $54,000 BTC to 58. There's a lot of money to be made here, man. It's an easy swing trades, man.
So that 1 month, you had 6 potential trades, right? 3 long.
Yeah,
shorts.
and you don't even and the thing is, you don't even need to time these things that well, right? Just right now, Bitcoin's down 1%, right? If this thing were to drop to 59,000 tonight, maybe wait for Bonk to be down 50%, 40%, 35%. Enter in there. Worst case scenario, you wait 3 weeks and then you sell it and you're up still.
Solid.
30, 40%. Yeah, so I don't know. I think these meme coins, I mean, we know where retail is, right? We know institutions are in Bitcoin. There's a ton of interest from institutions, traditional Wall Street traders that are getting exposure. They're just buying Bitcoin, right? You agree, right?
Yeah.
People, these wealth funds, these hedge funds, the companies that want to get a position on Bitcoin, the banks. I mean, banks have been getting a lot of Bitcoin. They're all on Bitcoin. So the numbers that we see now, where Bitcoin's up to 60,000, up from 20, that's old money. But retail, the DJs, people that we know, our friends and our circles, they're making money on these meme coins, right? And so that's where that's at. Also, Internet Computer up 27%. BitTensor, I know you're all talking about this yesterday, up 30%. Solid.
Yeah, they were added in the new
Grayscale.
Grayscale,
yeah. There are some down on the week, but not much, man. I mean,
XRP
Celestia is down 8%, and that's it. Everything on the week. So I mean, when you look on a weekly time range, altcoins are looking really good, man. Looking real good.
I do want to share a quick Bitcoin chart here. So Bitcoin on the daily looks like we could be in for a nice little bull flag here. I love flags; they're my favorite. Two of my favorite flags are the American flag and the Armenian flag, as I am Armenian. What is he saying over there?
No idea.
I have no idea. Robin, he either had too many Red Bulls or not enough Red Bulls. Can't figure out which one today. But you can see here a big move up from BTC. And if we see a continuation of this downtrending channel here, we could see potentially a bull flag start to form on BTC. But if we pull our fibs, we take a look, okay, you know, from the bottom here to the top, you do not want to see this go below $60,251. If it does, this pretty much gets invalidated. This bull flag does once we pass that the Fibonacci 50% retracement threshold. So 60,251 is a number we're looking at, but anything above that, right? If we drop down, we should see a pretty big move up. And if we do see a pretty big move up, depending on where this thing breaks out, we could potentially see a 20% move up from Bitcoin. If that move happened right now, you'd be looking at a new all-time high, right? You're looking at a new all-time high. Let me do this here. So if we broke out from here, 20% would put you at 70, let's call it 77.5. Obviously, if it breaks out a little lower, but either way, we could potentially be seeing an all-time high, let's just say in the next 10 days, 7 to 10 days. And then once we break that 74K and we see some follow through, we see some volume, because a lot of people are going to look at this and say, yeah, we kind of went up there and came right back down. Went up there, came right back down. Went up there, came right back down. So essentially, pretty much this is a 1, 2, 3, this is a quadruple top. Eventually, you knock on that door enough, you're going to break through that damn door and you're going to get in there. It's like the SWAT team, right? They keep pounding at that door, right? Pounding at that resistance, pounding at that 73, 74K. Eventually, that resistance is going to break. And how high will Bitcoin go? Will it get to 80 before it retraces? Will it get to 90 before it retraces? Who knows? It'll be excited to watch as well. Just be careful if you are in any trades with leverage, as when the price does move rapidly, then could potentially get liquidated on either side. So let's take a look at this here. So Lynn Alden was on a podcast, and she pointed to two things that could be very, very bullish for crypto. One is a potential Trump victory, which we've already talked about that. Second one is rising global liquidity. I've touched on this not briefly, but also not too far in depth as Miss Alden did on this podcast. But she argues that a potential victory for Donald Trump in the upcoming U.S. presidential elections could lead to the extension of corporate tax cuts, which in turn could favor the crypto markets. So less money paid in taxes. They're extrapolating out here. More money to invest. More money to go risk on. More money to take more risk. That's kind of her thesis. But she also said, however, the most important macroeconomic factor affecting crypto remains global liquidity, which has been gradually recovering in recent months. And I want to couple that with this. Why Bitcoin's sudden jump to 65K could signal a major turnaround, although we're seeing a little bit of a drawdown now. So according to insights from the on-chain data provider Glassnode, this current surge might be the result of a near-term sell-side relief, suggesting a temporary easing in selling pressures that have heavily influenced Bitcoin's price trajectory in recent weeks. What are your thoughts on what Lynn Alden said? What are your thoughts on this pretty fast recovery from that 54K level? What's your gauge on the where the market is, the sentiment of the market, and where you see it going in the next 7 to 10?
You need two things for a bull market. You need cash flow, also liquidity, right? And what we saw last bull market was a perfect storm of the two. You had Binance, Coinbase, you had this plethora of exchanges, a mile long, right? If you took all the international or exchanges, all those ones in Singapore, and I mean, how many exchanges did we see pop up last bull market in 2020? I mean, it was huge. The list was, I mean, you couldn't even name all the exchanges, right? I mean, we saw that. We're like, what token is that one on? You're like, it's on BitTrue, Dexman. It was just a massive amount of just different exchanges. But that in itself was the liquidity, right? You had companies and startups and venture capital getting behind and launching all these different market providers that were providing liquidity. And then you had the cash flow. So you had the gunpowder, and then you had the match and the fuel to go on top of that. And that was, well, the monetary policy, the printing, the absolute destruction of interest rates where we went down to zero and the government was just like, hey, take as much money as y'all want, pay us back later with no interest. And so basically we just incentivized the entire planet to invest, right? And so if you had means for banking, if you had an opportunity to qualify for a loan, you could get money at pretty much free and invest. And then you also couple that with liquidity, and, well, there was nothing stopping you, right? Anyone could download Robinhood and go buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, at least here in the United States. Internationally, there was a plethora of exchanges. Coinbase was really just ramping up. Binance was growing into this behemoth that was. We saw how fast FTX blew up too, and then blew up again. But that is what's needed, right? And then we had a burning, right? We burnt all of that, right? We had this massive forest fire. We had all this underbrush, all this crap, all that
Who
burn.
can only prevent forest fires? Smokey the Bear.
Wow. And so you had all this brush, right? And we got rid of all that crap exchanges, right? I don't want to say all the crap exchanges, but a lot of these exchanges, a lot of this venture capital, crypto venture capital went under, and now we're building it back, right? And what Lynn Alden's saying is that, hey, we're starting to turn a corner, but that corner, that destruction was replaced by the United States, Wall Street, New York Stock Exchange. That is where the liquidity is coming from. And so, you need to look no further than the ETF flows to see how big this market is growing. And that they are the liquidity. Now all we really need is the cash flow, right? That's the one thing, is that Americans, Europeans, just, the global market is still kind of in that consolidation, coming out of this 2021 COVID monetary policy where interest rates are high, nobody can afford anything. But that's going to change. Something's going to happen. Sentiment's going to either gradually or abruptly, we are going to flip the switch and go into a monetary policy where we're lending, everyone's spending. It's in cycles. It comes in cycles. The economy always comes in cycles. You never go into a bear market and stay there, right? Historically, up and down. There's swings in the market. And so we're going to swing back the other way. That's going to be the cash flow. Liquidity's there. Stock exchange is there. We're starting to see the ETFs for ETH. The Solana one coming, right?
Essentially, not this year,
but coming. And then we're going to see a list of others as well. And not to mention, I think that with the new president coming in, as Lynn Alden said, if Trump does in fact win, I think that he's going to ease regulation, which is going to spur exchanges and also banks to offer crypto services. Don't be surprised if Trump comes in, he boots out Gary Gensler, this Saab 121, introduces crypto custody for banks. Next thing you know, these banks are launching exchange services. Instead of going to your bank and saying, hey, I want a retirement portfolio, bank is like, hey, check out our app. We got an exchange on there. You can buy and sell Bitcoin and all your favorite alts. That's coming.
I'm gonna look at this chart. This is in yellow, global liquidity, right? The global liquidity index. And then in the candlesticks, you have the Russell 2000. This is on the weekly chart. Right around COVID, we saw global liquidity go from 188 trillion to a peak of $377 trillion. It has been trending downward since then, but since around April 15th, tax day, wow, global liquidity has gone from around $264 trillion to currently $270 trillion. And so, as Robin mentioned, liquidity is a big piece of the puzzle. Obviously, the more money flowing around, the more places it has to go, the more options it has. And so we'll see. Will we get back to this these COVID levels? I'm not sure. But we know what governments like to do. They like to spend money. And so will they spend more money? Yes.
And even institutions are going to be in a scenario where they're going to be in profit, right? And companies have to spend money, right? If you're a company, the dumbest thing you can do is just sit on your hands with money and just watch it disappear through inflation, right? Paying taxes and you have your accounting. The smart thing to do, hey, you know what? Companies in massive profit, the economy's booming. We got a surplus in cash. What are you going to do with it? Well, you can invest it. You can allocate a certain proportion to Bitcoin, or you can say, hey, you know what? We're a technology-based company. Crypto blockchain is very popular. Other people are doing it. Let's launch a Bitcoin service. Let's launch a product that uses blockchain. That's what we saw last bull market. Remember? It was company after company after company talking about NFTs and launching this and putting this on the blockchain and that. And why were they doing that? Probably because they had a bunch of extra money. They're in the profit. They're like, and they got so much money. They're like, hey, what do we do with this? Somebody stand up. And there's like one crypto nerd like, hey, can we do NFTs? Let's take the McRib and make it an NFT. Be like, that's a great idea, sir. Let's go. And so that's what we'll see again when the economy flips. Basically, that surge of liquidity also comes from just, people are in profit. Profits roll down.
Damn McRib.
I love McRibs, man. Is the McRib available right now?
No. What I love is people that support this channel, including people like you watching, but also our channel sponsors. And today's show is brought to you by Legacy Network. Legacy's app is officially live in the Google Play Store. So if you're an Android phone user, go to the Google Play Store, download the Legacy Academy app, get in there, sign up for an account. You'll see what we've been talking about over the last 3 months. Absolutely beautiful UI, UX, great user experience. And once their token launches, you'll be able to make money and have fun at the same time, and all in the same time as well, be able to help better yourself.
Also, appreciate the support from Scotty Moe. $5 super chat says, have a bag of Dot, Mina, and Loop Ring. Matic, welcome to 2024.
Get rid of all of them.
Yeah. And so, Dot, Mina, Loop Ring, Matic. I'll tell you what, Matic, scratch it. Dot, scratch it. Mina, Loop Ring.
Loop Ring, scratch, Loop Ring, keep Mina.
Yeah, I mean, Mina's the only
Keep
one.
a little bit of Matic. You never know. Just like
it's really high on the. I was gonna say if you're gonna keep an ETH play by proxy, I would go Loop Ring.
You're crazy. You are crazy, dude. No way.
It's still a nice product, man. I mean, you have an exchange,
dude. What Loop Ring,
all the good feels
what made Loop Ring stand out
was a lack of exchanges that offered.
No. What made Loop Ring stand out really was when ETH didn't have this roll up or didn't have the proof of stake. It would batch transactions, but now they have that with the new EIP that went through.
I would argue that Loop Ring, just their UI and interface,
no one uses it.
It being a DEX. Nobody wants to use Uniswap, man. Uniswap is ugly. It's complicated. You're trying to mess with that slippage meter. Next thing you know,
meter.
The slippage slide or whatever it is. Next thing you know, you're 5% slippage.
I love slip and slides, man. I used to have one in my house. It's great.
Why do I feel like when you say you had it in your house, you just like rolled it down the stairs and like, come on, kids, come on, slide down, like my neck hurt.
That's why they love me, because I'm also a big kid.
Is slip and slides? Is that before your time? Do you know what that is? A slip and
Yes,
slide?
you know what a slip and slide is?
Okay.
Yeah. I had one. I
You had-
played on it.
It says Vegas though. I'm just kind of
Didn't you
curious.
peed on it?
What?
I thought you said I peed on it.
No, I
What?
played on it.
Oh, I.
Ah. So my thing is that like I look at a slip and slide and I'm just like, I grew up with those, but I grew up also in Virginia where we had grass. I'm just confused on where would you use a slip and slide
I
in
had
Vegas?
grass.
They had a slip and slip in Virginia.
Because I feel like it's just mud and rocks, and then you like run into a cactus when you overshoot it.
Mud and slide.
Yeah.
Did you put
Speaking of
soap
mud and
on it?
slide, we
Wait.
got to get out of here, man.
Hey,
Wait, what?
Hey. I had a question.
What's the question?
I said, did you put soap on it?
Huh?
Soap.
Slip and
Oh,
slide.
that's interesting.
Wait, okay, so you know what I did? I had a really large.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for this.
I had a really large yard
My bad.
growing up in Virginia, right? It was just this giant plot of land. So the slip and slide, it's only like 30 feet or something like that. And so what we did is I went down to Home Depot and I got the plastic tarp and I rolled the tarp out. And so we made like and extended it, right?
What?
And so the slip and slide was actually like 100 feet long, man. And then I destroyed the whole yard. My mom came out and there was like potholes and there were just like,
What is
there were,
going
like,
on with
dogs
this
running
show?
around. And so my mom got mad at me, but it was an epic, like 100-foot long slip and slide. Absolute game changer.
I used to put barbecue sauce on the slip and slide. It's real good. Then you can your tongue magically falls out of your mouth as you're sliding. Get some of
Okay.
that barbecue sauce. Also, what I used to do-
Tornado.
Also, what I used to do is, those McDonald's slides. Take those trays and you sit on them and go down really fast. Anyways, Ashley. There we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do not miss tomorrow's show. We got James Seyfert joining us, the ETF analyst from Bloomberg. We're going to talk everything Ethereum ETF before it goes live next week. What to expect. All your questions answered. We'll see you tomorrow.
Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.